Am I really that much? And breaking these niggas down like a demo. You don't really do throw you.
If the video is dark, my bad, y'all. Hi. Clearly, you see I'm in the middle of doing my face because I have to work today. And anytime that I have to work like 9 a.m. or later, I actually decide to do my face. They hit me with a come in at 7, baby. You're just gonna get what you're gonna get. But I came on here because it's a long time no see. I have fans out there, the fans being my sister and best friend, who are like, girl, you need to come back to the YouTubes. And so I decided, yeah. But I don't recall if in my last video I explained why I was taking a hiatus. Let's be honest, I've never been fully active on here. Or consistent. I'll say consistent. I've been active, but not fully consistent. You know what I'm saying? That I had all of these, you know, goals and game plans and all the things. But then 2026 came in and punched me in my throat and said, you're gonna do what? You're gonna do what? I'm recording this on my front camera because I am. Because I am. Child, life started lifing. Life really started lifing. And I really don't recall the last thing I really got into or was really talking about. So this is gonna be the update and then also what I plan to do as far as the future holds. Today we're doing a blue look. We're using this palette, the Space palette. Probably gonna have to invert this when I do all the things. I'm gonna be using that palette, but I'm also gonna be using this base, which is by P. Louise. We're gonna do our best attempt at this because I have not used this palette in very long time. So the moment we all have been waiting for, day.janay, where did you go? Where did you go? Why did you leave us? Well, at the top of the year, again, I said I was going to get serious about content creation because I don't know. It could be a delusional part of my brain or, you know, the hopefulness. I don't know. I could be delusional. I could be onto something. But I've always felt like since the second wave, I'd say second wave. I don't know if second wave is the best way to describe it, but like when TikTok started blowing up over the pandemic and people started like kind of blowing up like that, I was like, I feel like I have the personality and ideas and stuff like that to also do that as well. I know the people around you are going to just promote you anyway, but even my friends like, nah, yeah, you can really get us out the hood for real because you the type of vibes. And I always was trying to do content creation, but I never knew exactly what vein I wanted to do because I know this word is getting thrown out everywhere and all the time, but I'm a creative and not just in one specific area. And I have a lot of interest in things that I would love to share. Like I read a lot and I be wanting to share like, oh my gosh, I read this book and it said this and I did that. Also, I have grown an affinity for makeup, obviously. At one point I wanted to be a makeup artist and that dream died out quick. I don't like the idea of having to cater to somebody else's whatever. Like if I'm gonna do a look, I kind of want to just experiment, see what goes wrong and be like, next time I'll do this better. And so for the most part, I was like, how am I going to do this whole content creation thing? Because I could also do story time. So I really don't. Y'all don't understand me when I say this. I don't have the time for a family member or somebody I used to be cool with to come and be like, oh, so you was talking about me and that. No, I don't have the time. Also do music. I haven't done it in a minute, so, you know, not too much on me. But I'm getting back into my music production and all the things. I'm getting back into music production, so that's going to be a thing. But that will definitely be separate. That'll be separate from this. So I'm like, what am I going to do? TikTok is supposed to be the more, I guess, reliable. I won't say reliable, but the one that, you know, people are going to flock to more often than not. You know what I'm saying? I love YouTube. I've been on YouTube a couple of times. I worked my way up to different things, you know, stuff like I really do like YouTube. I'm really hoping that this turns out half decent, because every time I do blue, I always feel like it's either too much or too much. Anytime I do blue, I'm always like, man, this is too much. This is très moche. But anyway, I've always grappled with what type of content to post, how to post it, what's my aesthetic, and things like that. And I'm also a perfectionist, as most people are. Unfortunately, that's what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to just figure it out as time progresses. And I've come to terms with that. Outside of really trying to just hone what it is that I want to do with this channel and with my content in general, the main reason why I was gone is because I became a caretaker in 2024. I became a caretaker. And if you know me, whether you follow me on TikTok, Instagram, whatever, if you know me in real life, you know that I'm taking care of my younger siblings, because my mom passed away in 2024. Got custody of them a couple months later, but actually got temporary custody. Didn't get full custody until last year, February 11th to be exact. Just to let you know, I'm using this one I use to set the stuff. I'm about to go in with this to deepen it more so on my crease, and I'm probably just gonna bounce back and forth between these. Maybe probably gonna stick more to this because I do want this to be lighter. I don't want it to be like super dark. But I got custody of my younger siblings, which is like, oh my gosh, yay. But however, in a comma, if you also know me, you know I have an older brother who is undiagnosed autistic, yay, or potentially undiagnosed autistic. That is what I was made aware of, like pretty much all of my childhood, is essentially, hey, that boy did, hey, the tism is tisming, you know what I'm saying? And it was something that he didn't know until after my mom's passing, because she just never told him. And I was like, well, hey, not my monkey, not my show. It is now time to let you know. And you can do with that information what you want to do with that information. You know what I'm saying? If you want to go in and be like, well, there's a possibility, but I ain't going to do nothing about it, cool. But at least I told you. And then, you know, at least you understand that, you know, why you have difficulties with whatever is due to the fact of, you know, potentially that autism. But that doesn't stop there. Because of this fact, and because essentially he has been handheld a lot of his life, not to his fault, but now that meant essentially I became the caretaker. Essentially it was now my turn to be mom. And regardless of what anybody says, that is exactly how it was made to feel. It was made to feel as though that is your brother, and guess what, it is now your turn to take care of him. Even though our father still very much alive, he lives where we used to live, you know what I'm saying? Even though there were people who were there to take care of him, it still got pushed off to me. It was very much, well, day.janay, you can't allow him to do this, or you gotta do that, or day.janay, what are you gonna do, as opposed to like, what are we gonna do? And truthfully, honestly, in my personal opinion, shout outs to all the family out there. However you feel is however you feel. But please keep in mind that this is how I feel and how I felt in the moment. But it really felt like, day.janay, you got to figure this out. It is your job to figure this out. He is your responsibility. And even though we say we're going to be here to help, we're just going to be here to help in words only and not action. There's many a times where I called and was like, I can't do this. And this isn't me saying I can't do it because, oh, I'm grieving my mom right now and I just feel like I can't do it today. This was me saying I couldn't do it because there's a lot of things that my brother just did not know how to do. And again, not to his fault, doesn't know how to pay bills. I've been knowing how to pay bills since I was like 16, 17. And I've always been the more mature one, the one that everybody's just like, oh yeah, you know, she's straight, she got it. So there's so much that I would have to teach him on a practical level, let alone socially, because he still has those social cues that he don't really get. And there's certain things that you have to understand, like If you go to a job and people are irritating you, you can't just, walk away to try to calm yourself down, especially if you do not have a diagnosis. They're just like, you lazy mother Tucker, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? And there are just different things where I was like, he doesn't know how to do this. And on top of already having two, at this point, two teenagers that I'm essentially having to guide through life, I also have this person that's got me by 2 years that I'm also having to take care of. So I love my godmama, she's here too, but there's still that they lean more on me because I'm more consistent when I've been here pretty much everybody's lives. You know what I'm saying? And I just got to a point where I was like, I can't take care of everybody and then have my own life. Yes, that is a thing to where like, oh, but you need to, and da-da-da-da-da. Y'all can say all of that. That's cute. But the reality of my situation is you have to sacrifice something in order for life to work. Essentially, the weight was on the weight of the entire world, quite literally, was on my shoulders. And I was like, man, I have to give something up. There's something that I have to give up, because at this point, I am holding over 1,000 pounds worth of things when my capacity is to only be able to hold like 100 pounds worth of things. It's just something's not giving. Something's not giving, but everything is taking. So I decided, okay, cool. What am I putting down? And honestly, for the most part, I put down every personal endeavor. I stopped doing content. I deleted my Instagram. What else did I do? Yeah, I deleted my personal Instagram as well as like another Instagram that I had. Got off social media practically. Was not posting on TikTok for real. It was real occasional. I was like, we just gonna have to get a real job, work real hours, and just sacrifice. Period. Just period. You know what I'm saying? But a large part of me that was like, oh, you're not gonna come back to it, but hey, tis what it is, you tried. Felt like I was up a creek without any paddles. There was no paddles in existence, like ever. Like God never made paddles type up a creek without a paddle. I literally was telling multiple people like, I need help. I need to be able to do this. And they're like, oh, I wish there was something there. And well, have you tried looking, and did you? Yes. But I also don't have the capacity. I just ain't got it. And I've just learned to be okay with that. And with that being said, because I was like, man, I'm going to have to sacrifice because everybody expects me to sacrifice, and nobody's giving me the room to not. So it's not even a thing of, oh, well, you didn't have to do it because we gave you an out. Nobody gave me an out. And I said, well, I literally remember telling God, I was like, Lord, if this is meant for me, like if this burden is meant for me, let me not be so, don't make me feel so very like I can't do this, I don't want to do this. Because that was my thing. I was like, I'm already taking care of my younger siblings. I don't want to have to take care of my older brother. And it's not even due to a love thing. It's quite simply due to the fact of he's older than me, and his care is almost lifetime. I had to sacrifice high school, college, and all of these different things. Like, I've not had the regular human being experience. I didn't get to really live, and I was like, okay, I'm sacrificing now for these little girls because, it's the right thing to do. But at some point, they're gonna be off, and they're gonna be on their own. With my brother, that wasn't guaranteed. Digging my heels in, because I was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And I'm not, and every day that goes past, I don't want to do it. And what I really don't want to do is wake up and feel resentful towards anybody, because it's not your fault. This was a choice I made, right? And one day I was like, you know what? No. I know. I was like, I'm still feeling irritated. I hate coming home. I want to be in my room all day, on top of dealing with potential grief depression. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot that's going on up here that I'm like, there's something not fully right. And it's not going to be right because grief and things. I'm already struggling on a daily basis on top of having to struggle with kids. You know what I'm saying? The days are long and hard. On a good day, it's long and hard. All right. Food is being eaten, and there's like just resources that are being drained from us that I'm supposed to not be able to do anything about. How about no? How about no? And that's when I said, you're going back home. And I know I'm gonna look back at this and be like, dang, that's crazy. But this is the person that I would have been had I not had to sacrifice for so long. I gave ultimatums. I was like, hey, you need to either get diagnosed within a certain period of time or like start the process, not even necessarily get to the point where they're saying you do or you don't have something, but at least get to the process of you've called people, you've asked the questions that need to be asked, you've gotten to a point where they can do something. And if that is not done within, I gave him 3 months. I said, if that's not done in 3 months, I was like, I can't be on top of you. So you're going to have to, if you got to set alarms and things like that in order to know what you're supposed to do for the day, then that's what you're going to have to do. But I can't be on top of you, but this has to get done. And if it doesn't get done, listen, one-way ticket, babes. He started attempting, and then it didn't happen. And so I called my family and I said, hey, so I gave him this ultimatum. I can't do this. He needs to come home. As to not start anything, I'm going to just simply say that there was some back and forth and some pushback. There was some back and forth and some pushback, and I remember saying, hey, if I got to pull out another credit card and open up another credit card just so that I can purchase this one-way ticket, best believe I will, and I am. I just want y'all, I want it to be clear and out there. If nobody decides they want to step up and actually come to my help, forget his. Come to my rescue, because y'all said when my mama passed, if I'm just one call away because you need stand on it. Because if you don't stand on it, I'm gonna make you sit on it. That is so sus. Why? I said, if y'all don't respond within a certain amount of time, I'm just gonna buy the ticket myself. Baby, that next payday, I gave it a day. I didn't hear nothing from him. I said, okay, bet. Personally, I was hoping to get a ticket that was gonna leave that next weekend, but I couldn't afford that. So I got one that was leaving like 2 weekends after that. And I said, fret ye not. I got you. Don't you worry about a thing. I got you. And I ordered that plane ticket, and I think I called my grandmother. I've got multiple grandmothers, but I called one of my grannies and I said, so, ticket has been purchased. What y'all do from here, that's y'all's business. If y'all choose that when he lands, he comes stay with one of y'all, because everybody has room in their house. Literally, everybody has extra spare room in their house, apartment, whatever the heck. If y'all choose to get him, then y'all choose to get him. If not, my godmother has people who are willing to come get him. Either way, he is on his way. I will pack his stuff. I will do what is absolutely necessary to get him there safely in one piece. But he's coming. No, you can't convince me to not send him. No, you can't convince me to rethink it, take it back. Yeah, I definitely ruffled feathers. I definitely ruffled some feathers, and I'm not laughing at it because I'm like, oh, ha ha ha, y'all mad. No, I ruffled feathers, and I didn't understand why feathers are being ruffled. I fully just did not get it. I'm just like, you said out of your mouth that you would and you will. So People was mad. People was confused. They calling me every left, right, and central. Day.JANay, did you, have you, is he, da-da-da-da, what we gonna do, where he gonna stay? I said, that's up to y'all. That is up to you guys. Because once the plane land, it's none of my business. Ain't none of my business. Y'all was trying to essentially just push him off on me. Whether that's how you feel or you don't feel, that's what happened. That's what was happening. And one of the things in my life, when my mom was alive, one of the things I just could not stand is how much that she was willing to actually take. She would be irritated with things, and she'd be tired of certain things, people treating her X, Y, and Z, people expecting her to sacrifice and all this stuff and whatever, nobody thinking about her. But she rarely ever said no, because she loved them. It's her peoples, for better or for worse. My mom, ride or die, and her loyalty, it was loyal. Obviously, it's Fenty on the face. You seen it. This is such a nice color match. So yeah, and on top of that, I cut my hair. So if you see some short blonde stubbles in the camera, that is in fact why. But essentially, I sent them back, and now I just have the younger two to deal with and myself, and tried to get into therapy. We can talk about that later. But I am honestly, when he left, I felt so much lighter. I almost felt bad about saying that, but then I realized, I was like, no, it's the truth, and it's not from a place of malice. I am such a subconscious thinker that I don't even realize it until I talk things out. When I got back, I just felt like my shoulders was just like, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna sit in the living room. New world, new possibilities. Another reason why I've just not been here. Life be kicking my tail, y'all. Grief, more specifically. I have never actually had to grieve to the level and extent that I am grieving now. It has been a daunting task of figuring out, what does it mean to be selfish? How do I get to have me be me and live my life and do my things while also still being present in the responsibilities that I have. Contemplating going back to school. I'm in a mix of, I don't know if I should, but yeah, that's pretty much what has been transpiring in my life. Explore myself while also not having the space to. That has been my thing. And so we're still trying to find balance, and I'm trying to do it authentically. And I mostly just want to come on here and be like, I am back adjacent. I can't promise you that it's going to be consistent and that I'm going to post every week or even post every month. Can't promise you that I'm going to even post the same type of content all the time. I might get into a phase where I just want to do book reviews, or I might get into a phase where I want to, I don't even freaking know, where I want to come on here and show my outfits. I don't know. I do know that I'm trying, and that's literally all I can do. That's all I can do. All I can do is try. And shout outs to everybody out there who is in fact doing their best and giving as much effort as they can. I'm gonna finish this. All right, I will come back with the finished results. See you in a second. I'm back, and this is the look. You'll see it. You'll see her or whatever. It's currently, come on, work with me, 12:08. That means I got about less than 9 minutes to get ready, because I also want to get some food before I leave. So yeah. So that's what we're dealing with. This is me. I also gotta make a coffee. This is me, and yeah, hopefully guys, I am more consistent, that I can be a little more consistent. But hey, don't hold me to nothing. Don't hold me to Nathan. Don't put no standard or expectation. It is gonna be what it is. I'm either gonna be always consistent, or I'm gonna slow up some. It just is what it is, and we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out together. All right.
Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty.